Hello Strangelings, and welcome back to what is day 8 of Halloween, or Halloween the 8th as I like to call it. You saw this beautiful mug in my last video and need to hydrate for the rest of these, so I suggest you grab some chocolate milk, some hot chocolate, some tea, sit on down, because what we're going to be doing today, if I can start at the top of this, is doing the supposedly 31 scariest movies of all time. I'm not really sure if it's supposed to be in a descending order. This is an article that I found that was recently posted, and I was really curious to see what they counted as the scariest movies of all time, and I figured that while going through these, I'd give my opinion on whether or not I think they are. And then you guys let me know if there's anything missing, if there's anything you would take off the list, but let's get right to it. The first one that they have on here is actually the newest It movie. I did see it the day that it came out. It says on here it's one of the scariest movies because, well, clowns. The latest adaptation of Stephen King's frightful page-turner that debuted September 8th just surpassed The Exorcist for highest-grossing R-rated scary movie ever. Interesting. That being said, the next one that's on here, so I'm guessing it's going in chronological order if it's saying that it's the highest-grossing R-rated scary movie. The next one obviously would then be the 1973 Exorcist. One of the scariest movies because terrible, terrible things come out of a little girl's mouth, which happens to be attached to a spinning head. Yeah, it's pretty scary when that happens. Audiences were so affected by this fearsome film that some theaters even provided Exorcist barf bags. Throwing up to me is like, ugh. I'm a sympathy puker. Moving on. The Shining from 1980. One of the scariest movies because Jack Nicholson is seriously freaky as crave novelist Jack Torrance, who, spoiler alert, stop watching if you don't want to know, tries to chop his family to little bits after a very stressful winter. I've experienced those stressful winters myself. My cats are still here with me. Next we have the original Halloween. I love the original Halloween. I like that the remake that they're doing, Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be in it. I don't know what it is about this movie. I think it's a classic. I don't care if you like horror films or not. Tis the season. You gotta watch the original Halloween. It's good. Then we have the 1982 Poltergeist. It's scary because things aren't always what they seem. A static TV screen releases evil spirits, invisible beings, rearranges furniture, and the house moves through various dimensions, which may make shadows seem a bit more menacing as you settle into bed to watch this scary flick. I have not personally seen it. I did see, oh goodness, what are the name of those? Paranormal Activity. I know they were not great movies. I think I only saw like the third one. And what was freaky to me is like the moving camera. And when it moves and you're like, oh my god, something's gonna happen when it moves back. Stuff like that just freaks me out. I'm not like, gory stuff doesn't really affect me. I'm not afraid of gory movies. It's like more realistic, like mind twisters that I'm just like, nope. Next we have on here the 1981 Evil Dead. The Evil Dead. Fun fact, when we go to Walker Soccer Con, they're gonna have Bruce Campbell there. Chad is super excited. I do like the Evil Dead. I did fall asleep the first time watching it, but I did think it was good. 2012, The Cabin in the Woods. This recent movie lampoons horror conventions, while packing in some thrills of its own. A hulking family of zombies is mostly meant to be funny, but they're sort of disturbing. I saw Cabin in the Woods, not when it first came out. I waited a while, and I kind of forgot about it, and then somebody suggested that I watched it. It was not bad. Not my favorite, but it wasn't bad. My favorite one, Nightmare on Elm Street. Obviously the original, not the remake. Love Freddy. Freddy's my man. They had a mug that was like this. That was Freddy's sweater at one of the Halloween stores, and I wanted to buy it so bad, but I have so many mugs. But I love Freddy. Love him so much. Adolescence is tough enough without worrying about razor-armed Freddy Krueger killing hormonal teens in their sleep. And for those of you who didn't know, Johnny Depp was in that movie. The Birds, 1963. You'll never quite look at ravens the same way after seeing them descend upon a group of school children as if they were mealworms. My friend literally is terrified of birds because of this movie, which was kind of funny during marching band season because it'd fly over a lot. But, I mean, it's Hitchcock. He has some fantastic movies in there. Like, they had a theater at ASU that would play, like, older films, and that was one of them. If you haven't seen it, definitely go see The Birds. Birds, Halloween. The new It movie was really good. I did enjoy it a lot. I love the original one. I've read the book. and I did really like what they did with the second, and I'm hoping the second installment of it, spoiler alert, there's two, will give some more in-depth information that the first one didn't go over, to give you more information about who it really is. We have on here 1973 Alien. This suspense mounts until it's nearly unbearable, and then finally, a bizarre creature rips through a man's chest. After that, the real horror begins. That's like the only scene I really remember from that movie, because I've seen people do different takes on it for makeup, and it still freaks me out every time. I didn't expect to see this one. Coraline came out in 2009. A wolf in sheep's clothing kind of movie. It really is. It's like a take on a fairy tale that is very twisted. It was a very good movie. I waited a long time to watch this. I think I actually didn't watch this until this year, maybe last year. But it was excellent. I did really like Coraline. It was a movie I would definitely watch again. I mean, come on. He makes fantastic movies. The Silence of the Lambs. Okay, if Kelsey ever watched this, she's going to be like, that movie should be number one, hands down. My best friend loves this movie. She loves Silence of the Lambs. It's probably the most quoted movie out of my friend group. The books are fantastic. If you had not read the book series, get them. Night of the Living Dead, 1968. They won't stay dead. Another classic. Worse than Anthony Hopkins, who wants to imagine being eaten by hordes of undead strangers. This is true. Some people probably fantasize the whole Anthony Hopkins thing, but Night of the Living Dead, it's one of those that, like, you kind of have to watch it. You gotta have to watch the original Frankenstein, even though electricity wasn't used in the book. It was used in that movie, then ever since then, the take on all the other Frankensteins have used it. But there's some good ones in here. The Host. It's generally surprising. Movie monsters aren't often slow and stupid, but the beast in this Korean film is fast. Okay. I thought that this meant the, what's her name? Like the book, The Host. I don't know what her name is. Someone's going to comment. I'm going to feel stupid. I didn't like the book. I was like, that's not scary. I think my friend Constance maybe talked about this one. Constance is watching this anyway, because I know she always watches my films, and she'll comment below, because I'm pretty sure she's seen this one. But usually anything that is more like a foreign scary film, they do good work. Not going to lie. Even if it's something that you have to turn on subtitles for, is like fantastic. Like some of them are really good. You just need to watch them. All right, we have 1998's Ring, the original movie that inspired The Ring, or Ring with a U at the end of it. It's about a killer videotape which doesn't bode well for the viewer of this unsettling Japanese original. Okay, I feel like she's talked to me about this one too. I feel like Constance should have made this video because she could give you insights onto all these movies. It's another one that I think that one and then The Host were two that Chad currently has on his list that he wants to watch this Halloween. Tommy, stop it. Here. There's an old stocking, like a green stocking that I use as Tommy, my cat, his stocking for Christmas. And he just, every time he finds it, he just drags it across the floor, and it was in a cardboard box, and now he's playing with it. 2004 Saw. I'm not a huge fan of the Saw movies. I mean, I know that they're coming out with another one, surprisingly enough. But I never really watched them. I saw bits and pieces of them. They're saying it's scary because at the end of it you might understand why his motives are so twisted. I mean, I know a lot of people love the Saw movies, but they just weren't for me, so that's not one that I'd put on the list. The Orphanage from 2007. It covers a full horror spectrum with ghost children and a disturbing, possibly murderous old woman. I have not seen The Orphanage. I've heard really good reviews, and I've heard some okay reviews about it. It's another one that I have on the list to watch. 1986 is The Fly. Hideous mutant body horror abounds, I cannot say words, in this remake of the 50s sci-fi film. I've seen the one from 86. I've never seen the original, so I saw the remake. I don't remember that much about it. It was one of those things that I watched in like high school, because my group of friends in high school liked to go to a lot of scary movies. And so also at their house, they would play scary movies in the background when we'd hang out. Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror, 1922. Again, classic, gotta watch it. The silent film doesn't have today's blood and guts special effects, which I'm perfectly cool with. But it's still a creepy nightmare setting with shadows and tension. It's brilliant. It really is. It is poetic. It's a classic. You have to see it. 1997's Cube. The deaths are grisly, the setting is surreal, the labyrinth details of the plot might make you questioning reality by the end. Okay, I haven't seen this one, but just reading it and looking at it, I kind of do, because stuff like that, paranoia, suspense, stuff like that, I'm more into seeing than blood, guts, and horror. Black Swan 2010. That's horror on like a different level. Like taking something that's like the mental illness aspects of it. Like I heard it was really good. I've not seen all of it. I've seen most of it. It was not something when it originally came out. I was like, I don't think I want to see this, but it was actually better than I expected it to be. And I do want to watch the whole thing eventually because I did take ballet when I was younger. I do understand a lot of the stuff that she went through. Like I haven't gone through it myself exactly, but it's something that taking my psych classes and reading about it and knowing other people that went through it, like, it is more horrific than you would think. But it was really good. So I give Black Swan props for what they did for that movie because it was very good. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. My mom hates this movie. She was trying to watch it on TV by herself, or it was like late at night and she was like, no. Another good one, 1974. Hellraiser, 1987. Oh, if I knew this was in here, I would have brought We Have the Cube from Hellraiser in the bedroom. This murder fest is filled with unsavory characters, humans with dark personalities and darker motives, plus an assortment of bizarre, very bizarre and terrifying beasts. It's not for the faint of heart. Truth. Fun fact, did not watch this all the way through the first time. I watched most of it, and I was in and out. I was really tired when we were watching it, but it also freaked me out a good bit. I could not finish all of it. It's a fantastic movie. Chad's gonna watch this later and be like, you didn't even watch it all the way through. I did rewatch all of it. Shush. But it is very good. And people, I'm trying to think. I want to say her name is Crucifucked on Instagram, and that could be wrong, and I feel horrible. I'm going to try to link her below. She did a makeup look for this, and it was fantastic. Unrelated. 1982's The Thing. It's impossible to know whom to trust in this film about an alien parasite that imitates humans. Okay, anything that's like body snatching, anything that has to do with creepy parasite things, like I usually tend to stay away from because those things do freak me out. I can't handle it. It could happen. Just saying. I have not seen The Thing. Probably not going to see it. 28 Days Later, I did watch that. Zombies are faster than you, plus their brain-eating disease is transmitted via blood, which flows in excess here naturally. When this movie came out, I was all about going to go see it. I was so excited about this movie. I really liked it. I definitely want to rewatch it again now that I have a new appreciation for these kind of movies, because when I saw it, it was like, it did scare me. Because scary movies, it's one thing when you go with your friends and they make jokes during it, like going to see The Unborn really wasn't that scary. Seeing The Descent still gave me nightmares afterwards, but we made so many jokes about it, it wasn't that big of a deal. 28 Days Later did scare me. Like, gave me nightmares for a good amount of time. I mean, I was like, I was 8 when this came out. I didn't see it when it first came out. I saw it when I was like 13, but it gave me nightmares, and I definitely want to watch it again. Carrie, another classic. So many classics on this list, I approve. Some I don't understand, though. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I've seen all the Indiana Jones movies. I understand that they're trying to say that there's different layers to the movie. There's monkey brains, bugs crawling everywhere, rituals. But I wouldn't put it on like one of like the scariest movies of all time. It would not make my list. The Sixth Sense, 1999. That's one of those ones that it's not scary in the sense that you're gonna scream during it, but you're probably gonna be like a couple times. I would say more thriller than horror, but this is scariest. It's not horror movies, so I do think it's a good. I really enjoyed it. It's a good movie. The Omen. Oh God, The Omen. We're not gonna talk about The Omen. The Blair Witch Project, the original, not the remake. Now, because it's documentary style and it makes it more realistic, that's what makes it scary, and I do agree with that. Shaky camera angles, though, and trying to watch it like Chernobyl, I got very sick watching stuff like that. Granted, Blair Witch to me wasn't as bad as that one, as Chernobyl was when I tried to watch it. It's a good movie. It is something that you should at least watch. It's not something that I would, like, my go-to, like, what should we watch tonight? Oh, we should watch the Blair Witch Project. But there are tons of references in modern TV shows around Halloween that you're gonna miss if you don't see this movie. The 1963 The Haunting. The atmosphere is stifling even if the special effects don't quite hold up nearly 50 years later. I will say, some of these older movies that are on this list, it doesn't matter if the effects hold up or not. We understand that nowadays we're desensitized to a lot of things. Some of the effects you can see where they've improved on a lot of stuff, but the initial watching of these movies is still terrifying, and that alone is why they belong on here. 1992's Candyman. I have not seen this one. I haven't even heard of this one, and somebody is probably going to watch this and be like, oh my god, you haven't seen this movie. Yeah, I haven't. It says it plays on the old Bloody Mary game. After seeing what the murder spirit in this movie has in store, you simply won't be able to repeat Candyman in front of a mirror. Promise. I'm one of those people that, like, as a joke, I'm like, oh, I don't know what it's about. I'll do it, like, for funsies. And tonight I'll go in the mirror and look and be like, ha ha ha. No, I'm not going to say it. I still can't say Beetlegeist 3 times correctly because you never know what's going to happen. Well, apparently that's the last one on the list. So this video is a little bit longer than the other ones were. I'm really curious as to the movies that you have seen, ones that are on your list to see, ones that you agree with, and ones that you don't. So leave a comment below. You might have to watch it a couple times, not to give me views, even though it's fantastic, but to stop and kind of take note on the ones that you liked in this one. Like I said, I haven't seen Candyman. Haunting is great. Blair Witch is one that you have to see. Still not talking about The Omen. Sixth Sense is very much a classic. Don't agree with Indiana Jones. I'm just like scrolling back up through these. I like 28 Days Later. I like the new It movie. I like the classics that are on here. I don't like any of the Saw movies. They're not on here for me. I understand the references in other movies because of it, and some of them can be funny, but I'm glad that Nightmare on Elm Street is on here because I love that movie. The first time I watched it, I was in my dorm room freshman year, and my roommate was never, ever there. So I rented it. I sat, and it was daylight hours when I started watching it. And then by the end of the movie, it was like pitch black outside. And I realized I was sitting alone, huddled up in front of my computer, and the only light source was from my computer, and I was so terrified. I did not want to go to sleep. I love that movie. I love Freddy. I love cosplaying as Freddy. I have plans for an upcoming shoot that involve Freddy, so I'm glad that he was on here to talk about that. But yeah, thank you guys a lot for watching this. Let me know your opinions down below. We're not going to do the nerdy outro this time because we got some cleaning up to do to get some more videos out to you guys. So that I can be completely caught up with everything. But thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye! Oh, and subscribe for more, because every day this month, I got content for y'all. Bye!